Hi everyone, and welcome to this beginner's guide to wet shaving, to DE shaving. I was asked about doing a video like this in the comments of one of my videos, and I thought it was a fantastic idea, which is strange in a way because a few years ago there wasn't enough information out there on the internet about wet shaving. And now there's so much, which is fantastic. But when you're first coming over to starting to wet shave, it can be overwhelming. There is such a thing as too much information. Now I will say firstly, I am not an expert in shaving, or don't claim to be. It's a hobby for me, and I just share my shaves on here on YouTube on my channel. And I'm going to share information I've learned myself over the years of shaving. So let's go straight to it. When you're either starting to shave or you want to come over to double-edged razor shaving. Now either one of those, the first thing you want to do to yourself is very important, and that is find out what type of beard you've got. Is it coarse, thick, coarse beard? Is it a thin, sort of wispy beard? And do you have sensitive skin? Now, if you've been shaving with a multi-blade electric razor or something like that, you'll have an idea. And another important factor is how often do you want to shave? Every day. I shave twice a week because I film them, and incidentally the longer you leave a shave, the less irritation you have, really. So once you've found out your beard type and your skin type and how often you want to shave, then it comes to, well, what products do I use? Well, I'm going to do this in sections to make it easier. The first thing is affordability. Now, some people just want to buy one razor, one shaving soap or cream, one brush and blades, and get on with it. And that's fine, so it'll be easier for you. But sometimes when you start this way of shaving, like most of us, you'll be it becomes addictive, and you'll want to try new brushes, soaps, and this is where it can get overwhelming. So clear everything from your mind and just look at buying one razor for now. See how you get on with it. You don't want to spend lots of money, because at the end of the day this may not be for you. Some people just don't take to it. It's not often, but it does happen. So first thing, going back to my first question, is your beard thick and coarse? And do you want to shave every day? Right, well, the reason I ask that is this razor here, which is the Wilkinson Sword Classic, is most people's starter razor. Very affordable, roughly about £5 in English money, but it's a very, very mild razor. So what I'm saying is, if you shave every day, even if you've got a coarse beard, this may do for you, because if you leave a beard which is coarse for 1, 2, 3 days, it'll still shave it, but it'll take time. It may struggle a bit, in honesty. As I say, that's a start. It's a mild razor, a good razor, £5. If you don't shave every day and you maybe got a thick coarse beard, you may want to step up to something like this. This is an Edwin Jacket DE89L, chrome, beautiful razor, good quality, and around £20. But if you look after it, it's there for life. It's a 3-piece non-adjustable razor. It's not an aggressive razor, and it's not a mild razor. It's a medium razor. So that depends, you know. The reason I say this, and I go on about do you want this one or this one, you may buy this and think it's not quite enough for me. If you shave every day, this would be superb, whether you've got a thick beard or a wispy beard. If you don't, you may want to look into something like the Edwin Jacket DE89 or something like this, the Parker range. I'll put in the description a link to the Parker website and to the Edwin Jacket website, and these are available on Amazon, eBay, that sort of stuff, or maybe a shaving website. Now this is a different type of razor. It's a twist to open, and again these are around £20. Good solid razor, well built. You put the blade in there and then you simply twist to open, twist to shut. The only thing I will say with using these type is during your shave you need to keep an eye on the doors. Just make sure it's still tight. Do a few passes, just make sure it's tight. Don't over tighten it, but just make sure it's tight. Again, it's a medium aggression razor. It's not a mild razor. It's not an aggressive razor. It's in between. But having said that, what you class as aggressive and mild depends on your beard and your skin type, you see. It will take time to get used to this way of shaving. You've got to have patience. It won't work on the first go. You may feel a bit, different because your skin's not used to it. Just bear with it, and it will make a big difference. Now, on to brushes. So you've got the razor, you've picked your razor, onto brushes. Now there's three general types of brush, which is the badger brush, which is one of those. That's a badger brush, badger hair. These are quite expensive in terms of the shaving brushes. You can get different qualities of badger, but don't moither yourself on that for a minute. This is a badger brush. This one here is a boar brush. Now they're both animal hair brushes. Boar, pig, badger. So sometimes, especially the boar brush, these are the expensive, these are the mid cost, and these particular ones, this is a Samog 830. The more you use this type, they're as good as a badger, in my opinion. So if you wanted a, well, should I get a badger? I would go for a boar brush, especially a Samog. These are roughly 20, well, it depends where you buy them. 20, sometimes £30. You may get maybe cheaper, depends where you buy them, where you're from. But that's a good brush. They do tend sometimes to smell on first use. When you put it in water, you smell it and it puts you off. But that disappears with use, and there are ways of getting rid of the smell by using a lather. Lather in the brush up, leave it stand for 10 minutes, rinse it out, redo it, and keep doing that. You can use white vinegar. Some people, there's all sorts of ways, but don't moither yourself. It will go with use. The other type of brush is a synthetic brush. Now this one here, and I'm showing you this for a reason, this is a very, very cheap brush, Gillette. So don't be fooled into buying ultra cheap razors or brushes if they're silly money, because this is a terrible synthetic brush. It's raspy. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's quite a coarse brush. It feels rough on the skin, scratchy. But I bought it just to see what it was like. It was quite cheap, but I'll use it one day. There is a slight sort of chemically smell to it, but so don't go too cheap. Another one, this is a good one, is the Wilkinson sword brush, widely available in the supermarkets and some chemists. And again, these depend about £5, somewhere around there, depending where you buy it. That's a boar brush. As I say, it can smell when you first, it's normal, but it will disappear. Onto shaving soaps. Now, shaving soaps. When you first come into this, I personally would advise you to buy a shaving cream, not a soap. Now, the reason for that is this is a typical classic shaving cream. It's palm olive. Beautiful working creamy soap. It lathers up easy. The scent is fantastic, and it does a good job. It protects the face during the shave. When you're using a soap, you've got to lather it up. Now, when you first come over to this, I think personally it's better not to have to worry about different things. There's so many aspects to shaving. If you use a soap, and you might not get the lather right, and you may affect your shaving, may put you off. So first of all, just until you get used to shaving, wet shaving with a razor, with a blade, use a shaving cream, and you just put a pea-sized blob in a bowl. You've wet your brush, flick it out, and then start to create your lather. You'll find out what works for you, what you prefer. But don't be afraid to experiment before you shave as well. Lather up some, it's about £2 for a tube, so it's not that expensive. Have a play about. So that's what I'd advise. Buy, first of all, a shaving cream. It's more or less then ready. You don't have to worry about the lather. Just wet brush into the cream. And if you like it thick, more cream. If you like it wet, more water. Now, blades. Another thing I would highly recommend is don't buy one pack of blades of one brand. You can buy, some people buy 50 blades or 50 packs for a cheap price on Amazon, eBay, whatever. That blade may not work for you, because blades, even though they look the same, they are quite different. And they work differently on different skins, different beards, and different razors. So I would personally advise anyone, if you're coming into this way of shaving, to buy a sample pack of blades. Now, many websites, Amazon shaving websites, do this. And what that means is they'll send you, say, a pack of 10 different brand blades. And that way you're not spending lots of money, but you're finding out which blades suit you in your razor for your skin. If that makes sense. Coming on now to how many passes. You watch videos on YouTube and you see most people do a 3-pass shave. Now, when you come into this way of shaving, you may, on the third, the first one is always with the growth. So map your face with the growth, the way it grows. So shave it with the growth, re-lather, you can rinse in between, whatever, but re-lather, shave across the growth, and then if you feel any pain, don't do it. Maybe do 2 passes with the growth and 1 across, just for now, till your skin gets used to it. Don't feel you've got to do the 3-pass shave, because that's what everybody else is doing. It depends, we're all different, our skin types are different. If you feel pain, don't do it. And that aftershave. I would personally, it depends on your skin. If you can handle it, buy aftershave by all means. But I would personally, I would say buy witch hazel instead of, to begin with. Now this is Thayer's, it's a good make, and that's lavender. Now this doesn't smell like aftershave. You don't go down the road and people say, "Oh, that smells nice," because it's not meant for that. It's like a tonic for the skin, and it's good stuff. Now you can buy the cheaper version in the supermarkets or in the chemist. Now this one's by Sainsbury's, is it? Yeah. It's good. It's witch hazel, but the scent isn't very nice. So when you smell, you think, but it's not there for the scent. It doesn't last, but it does the job. It looks after the skin. So we've done. You've discussed now what your beard type is, what your skin is, what type of skin you've got. How often do you want to shave? What razor to pick? And I've given you 3 examples there to start off with. Now, if you find this way of shaving isn't for you, you haven't spent a lot of money. Don't worry about what's out there. stick to the basics first. If you like it, then you know you can go out and buy an expensive razor and brushes and soaps, whatever. And of course, while you're shaving and you're using a shaving cream and you're getting used to shaving, then you can start the shaving soaps and then play about making a lather and see what works for you. It's good fun, but don't overwhelm yourself straight away. I would advise buying a shaving cream. Brushes, again, I would a synthetic is a man-made brush basically, so you've got badger, boar and synthetic. So this one doesn't need much maintenance, if you like. You can leave it wet, all sorts of things. But again, you know, depends what you don't buy an ultra cheap one, because it won't, you'll think, oh, that's terrible. So if you're not keen on looking after the brush, get a synthetic brush. They're good, there's nothing wrong with them. Or the price wise, something like a Semogue. I'm speaking from my own experience. The more this Semogue's used, this Semogue boar brush, it becomes as soft as a badger. So you're more or less having the feel of a badger for half the price. But as I say, they do smell at the beginning. Some do, some don't. I've had no major issues with my brushes, but just lather them up in your favourite soap, leave it stand for 10 minutes, rinse it out. You can wash it in hair shampoo, hair conditioner, and that'll help as well, but it will go in time with use and they do become much softer. And that is, moisturising cream, very important, if anything. So rinse after the shave with water. I would suggest Witch Hazel instead of aftershave for now, till you know you're going to enjoy it and your skin can take it. Or don't put aftershave on till about an hour or half an hour after the shave, till your skin sort of cool down. And this Witch Hazel helps a lot, a great deal. It was a big learning curve for me, Witch Hazel. Moisture cream, yeah, very important. If anything, you can leave out the Witch Hazel and use water instead, but always moisturize your skin after a shave, very important. But make sure, another tip, whatever product you use when you're coming into this way of shaving, if you're not sure if you've got sensitive skin, try a bit first. Don't lather up, try a bit on your face and just leave it for a bit. And then if you feel any sort of issues, it might start itching or feels sore, you know then there's something in that product that doesn't do for you, and it's better just to have a small patch of irritation than a whole face full. So you need to be mindful of products you're using as well, but you'll probably know that if you've started to shave with other multi-blade cartridges or whatever. So that's my advice for beginners, really. Don't overwhelm yourself looking at too many websites, too many videos and all sorts of products, and stick to the basics first. Even though you might feel you want to buy this, you want to buy that, we all feel it. Buy, as I say, something simple. Wilkinson Sword Classic, that's about £5, and these are about £20 each, but they're good starter razors. They're not aggressive, but they've got a bit more aggression than that one, but they look nicer. They're a good quality razor, and they'll last you a lifetime if you look after them, as will the Wilkinson Sword Classic. So 3 good starter razors. Now Parker, I'm showing here, this is the 96R, I think it is. They have a range, you'll see in the website, a range of razors. They all shave, the twist to opens all shave roughly the same in aggression. So it's just your personal choice, what you like the look of, really. They do chrome versions and all that sort of stuff, but it's a good starter razor at a good price. Same with this boar brush, roughly about £20, depends where you buy it. Good brushes, and last year if you look after it. And then again, this is as good. It's a boar brush, and it's by Wilkinson Sword, and that's about £5. Shaving cream, just buy one, whatever your favourite is. And Witch Hazel comes in different flavours, different scents. There's an unscented one as well if you want, but maybe to start out, try it from the supermarket. These are only cheap. The scent isn't very nice, but it does the job. And then if your skin can take it, go ahead and buy aftershaves and colognes. And then it's just a case of moisture cream. And again, it depends on your budget and what you want, but it's an important part of the shave. So stick to the basics. I hope that's helped people. Once you've started, basically when you're starting, you just want your skin and yourself to become familiar with a razor and with this way of shaving, because you are placing a blade over the skin. Now the most important part of this video for me is this, and remember this, whatever razor you buy and whatever razor you use, when you use it, absolutely no pressure. No matter what, you know, even if the razor's sliding over the soap and it's not cutting, don't put pressure. Make the soap wetter, make the soap thinner, and then just lightly, you know, you've paid for the razor, you've paid for the blade, let them work for you. Just guide it. You'll find the angle, you'll feel it, you'll feel, oh, that feels right, because people worry, well, what angle should I use? Place it on the skin and start to go down. You'll feel it and you'll alter it slightly to whatever works for you. But no pressure. Please remember that. On each pass, no pressure. And all you've got to make sure is you rinse the razor very well. You know, you might do 1, 2, rinse. Turn it over, 3, 4, rinse. Rinse it regular, keep it clean, and make sure the blade is sharp. Once it starts tugging, or you start, you know, issues is pulling, get rid of the blade. It's finished, because accidents will happen then. If you follow those steps, not a lot will go wrong, to be honest with you, and you should enjoy wet shaving. But it will take time, have patience, but it will pay dividends in the end. So I hope this video helped, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next shaving video.